How was the air today? I know you can tell me.
And the air was just right for Skyrim.
That's right. Having a lovely rainy day, so we are going to just sit inside and play some Skyrim. I got one eye that... That's right. Oh, oh, oh. Having a lovely rainy day, so we are going to
Hold
just
on one
sit
second.
inside and play some
Hold
Skyrim.
on.
What? I got one eye that... That's right. There we go. Stop the looping sound. No more loopy sound. Okay, that's better. What's up, Gears? You like the new look? Professor Nico? My right eye got done yesterday. I had cataract surgery. So my far vision, I don't need glasses, but anything that's close up like this, I need my cheaters. So I got to wear my cheaters now when I play. But I tell you what, I don't have to lean forward to read anything. I can read everything, which is wonderful. It's kind of messed up though because my left eye is not done yet. So the left eye I can still, I mean everything's foggy still on that one because that one's still got cataracts in it. So I've got a week or two that I'm going to have to deal with that. But that's not that bad. Also, I noticed that things are extremely vibrant. So, because I was looking through a fog the whole time, so I may have to modify the saturation on my game. Yeah, there was because I didn't have it on analytic. So it was looping because I've got YouTube running in the background so I can read the chat. It did go well. And I went and saw the doc this morning and he said things are healing up nicely and looks good, and I'll see him on the 19th to double check and make sure everything's good so I can go on the 26th and have my other eye done. But for anything up close, I'm going to be wearing my cheaters. So now I'm, I got a couple more eyes. You can call me 4 eyes now. But I don't need them for driving and I don't need them for long distance. I got my long distance vision back. And like I said, everything is extremely vibrant, so we're going to mess around probably a little bit with some of the saturation settings and things like that. Because right now everything here looks extremely oversaturated to my eye. So we're going to adjust that. But I guess that's what happens when you were blind and now you're not blind anymore. Which is kind of interesting, right? Yeah, okay, I was blind, so I set everything up to deal with my blind vision, but now I'm not blind anymore, so we're going to have to change it back. Yeah, no kidding. It is a little oversaturated, though, to my eye, so I'm going to mess with that. Let's see what it looks like without the... That's without the EMB. Or excuse me, without the reshade. It's actually not bad. Let's see what I've got saturation set on here. Let's go and do EMB effect.
Hey, watch what you're doing.
It's adaptation. Tone mapping. So I've actually got that
money's on the big one.
turned up. Contrast. Saturation I've got on 05 during the day. Which really isn't that bad. We could probably leave that alone.
Those fools are actually fighting.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to play it for a while and see how I like it. I can definitely see a lot more color range and everything for sure. Alright, so where am I going first? That would be a good thing to know. Yeah, it's like somebody cranked the contrast way up. That's crazy. So, why don't we head over here by Swindler's Den, see if we can find these bodies for information. Because we're over here by Honey Brew. So let's go this way. Okay, that's a big bad guy. Black Griffin. It's crazy I can actually read the numbers up top now. Skyrim looks so good. Yup, you got it, Shot. You picked it up. Let's bury this body. Give me the shovel. Meh. They killed all the sheep. That's not right. It's nice to be able to read everything without having to lean forward. But yeah, my game is extremely vibrant. I never realized how vibrant. I may want to add some distant fog. Alright, dude's rebuilding his house. Or his parents' old house. So we're going to Swindler's Den. Just gotta be off this way. Go get him, dog. Little hunting, maybe?
Inch perfect.
Missed him. Can I just change the first person view? How come I can't change the first person view? Okay, that's weird. Which means to me that I'm in the middle of an animation. Still won't let me change the first person view. Why am I not being able to change the first person view? Alright, give me a second. I gotta figure this out. Because this is different. Alright, let's try this. We're going to try to quick save and then we're going to try a quick load and see if that'll give me back my ability to go into first person or not. Okay, now I can go into first person. That was weird. Okay, fine. Whatever. At least we got it into first person.
Perfect shot.
Alright, maybe we should pick some different arrows. Because those aren't working so good. I never realized these had little things around them. Oh my gosh. I've never seen that before. It's like I was blind, but now I see. Okay, we got that one. Let's get another one. So who is at the door, baby? Oh. Anything good?
Not good.
Not good? Bills?
Yeah.
Alright. Lots of bills or only a couple bills?
I think there's maybe 3.
Only three?
I said maybe, I said.
Oh, maybe 3. Okay. Sorry, I got my headphones on. I can't hear you.
Phone bill, water bill.
Oh, well, the phone bill, Sharon can help me pay half of that.
Well, it's AT&T. It could be the house one. I don't know.
The first one that comes is the one that we split. Hey, Eric. You never hit them birds? Well, they're not too bad in first person if you lead them a little bit. You should be able to hit them. I'm actually pretty decent at it. There's one. There's two.
Thread in the needle.
There's three. Thing is, they don't drop where you shoot them because they're Mahales, so they are offset a little ways. But I do this in order to get the hawk feathers, because hawk feathers can cure disease. I know those bad guys. Whoa, hey! I saw that coming.
The true Dragonborn returns to
The
this
rightful
world soon,
Dragonborn
and all will
comes
be
soon.
judged.
Blood will spill
Oh,
and it
you
won't
guys
be
are
mine.
going down.
I will purify the world from Mirax. You would dare call yourself the true Dragonborn?
Yeah, I would.
You petulant.
Mirax, help me!
Mirak ain't gonna
lousy
help you.
muppet.
Your blood will flow in Mirax's name.
Oh yeah, you want to make a bet? Oh. They make such wonderful sounds when they die. I want to see this again. Oh, the coloration looks good. Swindler's Den. That's way over there. Oh, where is that guy?
I better twist that pretty little neck of yours clean off.
Yeah, we're going in. Going in, full bore.
Not impressed.
Die, dragon.
Not quite a dragon.
You don't stand a chance against me.
You want to bet?
Victory is yours.
Yep, you're dead. Those will cure disease also. Actually, we'll take all that. Swindler's Den should be over this way. We have to search the bodies for information. Couple 100 feet this way. That one. That's the information we want. Slowly getting your game to look like this. About 1/4 of the way there, still got a lot to learn. Cool. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them if I know the answer. Maybe I can help you out. Let it be known that Raven Darklaw is confirmed an unrepentant worshipper of the Daedric Princes. Oh, Stendar, watch over you. Banquet of Bats. Where's the... That's the one I'm looking for. Been whispers of traitors among our ranks, pathetic attempts to sabotage. Jesus, seek out those who oppose and eradicate them. Priests gone missing, find them, any sign of betrayal, they must be swiftly destroyed. Travel to the excavation camp to await further instruction, but take the utmost precaution. Visual Stendar have increased their activity and may be aware of our presence. The dawn is breaking. Alright, cool. What we need to do also is because this is Scorvild or whatever his name was. What's the book? We haven't read that. There's some bad guys around here. Where are they? I'll take all that. So we got to do the ruins of Archimedes. What else are we doing? Well, let's check our journal. That's the cause. Location of the Conjurer's Lair. Just try to learn where he might be found, but it's not guiding me. So where is the Saints and Seducers camps? One is there. That's the vault in Sightless Pit. That's Tolfdir. That's the Seducers Bandit camp. So that's where I need to go. So why don't we put a marker there and we'll go that way. So we need to go norte. Should we take a little flight? Let's take a little flight. Strayless Cottage. We're gonna land right here. We'll take a little paraglide off the mountain top. I need to go that way.
Everyone thinks I'm too young to be a soldier, but I'm going to prove them wrong.
Sure you are. More coffee. What's up, Queen? I'm doing well. How are you? I am no longer blind. No, I'm only half blind. What's up this way? Oh, I know what's up that way. We're over by the Vigilance of Stendar. Fun making the video? Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I haven't seen it. I actually had an eye patch on all of yesterday. I got to take it off today. Now I only got to wear it when I sleep. So. For at least the next 5 days. Worth it though. How come we can't hit this guy? Oh, got him. Yeah, I think we pissed him off. What do you think?
Never miss. Bullseye.
Got him. I have not seen any notification. Doesn't mean it's not there though.
You're a fool to fight me.
You're a fool to fight me. So you're gonna burn to death. We didn't really want his face cover, but we got it anyway. Should we go in with the pig pokers? Throw a hood on. Something a little warmer.
Give me your best shot,
So
right?
you think you can fight, huh? Let's see what you can do then.
Oh, you're gonna see. You're gonna find out.
Death is highly overrated.
Claw the eyes out of you.
It's nothing.
Yeah! No! This is the end. Just a scratch. Oh!
Just a scratch, you're dead. Alright, where are these other guys that are here? Oh, he's up there. Coming to get you. Where'd you go? Oh, you jumped down. Alright, fine. We'll come down. We'll come get you.
No.
Bad kitty. Let's go into our favorite pub here. Anybody home? Should go into sneak mode. Go steal some stuff.
I do love a little suspense.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh man. I never realized that that label was crinkled. It's like the blind man who can see now. It's actually quite amazing.
Stay alert. Time to end this little game.
Yep. Game over. Game over for you too, buddy.
Like the bite of a flea.
Scavenger wood pile. Ripping his teeth out in his eyes. That poor barkeep. I killed him. This tune right here is pretty epic. I like it. Dun 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 dun. Dun. What's up, potato? Dun 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 dun. Alright, I gotta remember which way we're going. We're going this way. No, we're not going that way. We want to go this way. I want to see what's doing that. And then it's got to be RTGI. Take a look at our sky. It's actually pretty good. It's terrible that I want to blur it a little bit. All right, so we need to go up here and check this camp, Seducer's camp. We need to find out where bad guy from Saints and Seducers is. Well, we already know where he is, but we need the quest update so that we can actually go there and it'll be there. They're on the other side of this hill. Doggy. At least you're not hostile. So this isn't the camp that I wanted to look at, was it? Must be the one that's over here, up the hill. Yeah, it's over here. Then we gotta find Gakadar.
Is there any way you'd rather spend the day than drinking hunting brew mead?
Drink honey brew mead with a winch on each arm. Okay, where is this? It says it's right here.
I don't see anything to investigate. Except this guy. He doesn't have a note on him. What about this guy? He's got a book. That's what I want to read. Citizen locates Sarvag Seducer's bandit camp. Okay. Thought I already did, but let's... Okay. Yeah, we were already there. Let's go back. Yeah, it's almost like over sharpened at this point. So let's take a look at the sharpening filter I've got. What's up, Patriot? Let's just increase the blur amount. Let's run it on like 0.25. Actually, we want to run that on like 15. And drop this to 2.5. That's better. Yes, HET SMP physics for the cloak. It's called, Pelts O' Plenty. Yeah, it's called Pelts O' Plenty. It's actually really nice. For some reason the cloaks like stretch funny looking way and don't move properly like yours. Well, did you run Nemesis? There's that sun sprite. Wow. Okay, hold on a second. Take me back. No, it requires Nemesis also. I'm pretty sure if you read HCT SMP, it even says run Nemesis. Good shot.
Over here.
You want to dance with me?
What are you You're running away, huh? Oh, you're not running away, buddy. You're not running away. Try running Nemesis and then looking at him again. I bet you it solves your problem. Different mod, I just realized. Physics for cloaks. Well, I use a bunch of different ones. Now, the one that you're talking about, are you using that is Bloodthorn, isn't it? No, that's a Dark Dagger. Are you using... Oh, what the heck is the name of it? It's one by Curex. It's, this one's really well done, and it's called Pelts O'Plenty. So I would recommend getting that one. But I also run HCT SMP cloaks for cloaks and capes, which was done by Curex. And then I also run Winter is Coming. That's the name of the mod. So Winter is Coming stretches weird. Those cloaks don't work right. You'd have to modify the XML file. So are you using Winter is Coming? I highly recommend Pelts O'Plenty. Some cloak and cape mods have physics. Yeah, I got the same problem with them. You'd have to modify the XML file. That's not a Nemesis issue. That's a problem with cloaks and capes. Pelts O'Plenty is a great mod, and you can craft them. You can find them. You can have them distributed. I've actually got the one where you can craft them and distribute them throughout the world. And I also have the replacement so that the cloaks that get added by, because I use wet and cold, so non-player characters will have Pelts O'Plenty on them because of wet and cold. So, I mean, it's a really good mod. Pelts O'Plenty is a good mod. But I also like cloaks and capes. I also use Daedric cloaks. I use, what's the other one that adds SMP to a bunch of different cloak and cape mods? It's, man, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember the name of it. I don't know if it's a FOMOD installer. I think it is. Where you go through and it automatically checks. Well, I think it gives you options as to which, or it may just be in the download area. You can download different versions of the file, whether you want it to be a replacement only, or whether you want it to be standalone, or whether you want it to be, you know, in patches for cloaks and capes, or I mean, for wet and cold. What's the oh, artisan cloaks. That's the one you should look into. Artisan cloaks basically adds SMP physics to a bunch of different cloak mods. Like I've got that bear wasn't even hostile. I've got the Daedric cloaks mod. So I've got all the cloaks that well, they align with different Daedric princes. So you can get the Cloak of Hermaeus Mor, or Cloak of Sanguine, or Tattered Cloak of Sanguine, or whatever. So it gives you a bunch more cloak options that are, you know, have insignias on them for the Daedra that they represent. And you can, through Artisan Cloaks and Capes, that's one of the ones that they've added SMP physics to. But also quite a few other ones. Like Cloaks and Capes, and just a bunch of different other mods for cloaks. Yeah, I let
By blade, brute, or blunt, you will be stopped.
I'll rip your heart out.
Kirax has a good version for the. I'd have to look at which cloak they are. Give me a second. This would be a good way to find out. Guard's armor replacer. Those are all Skyrim, boy. We got a lot of cloaks. Item type. There's a Apache of Divine Elegance. Rider Dragonfly has a cloak in it. Armors of the Velothi. This is Winter Mountain Guardian. Immersive Creatures. Cloaks SMP patch. So these are all the cloaks, but there's so the cloaks SMP patch be out for all the cloaks. Daedric cloaks. OBIS loot. Cloaks and capes, that's the other one. Shift and enter to bring up your EMB menu as well. My EMB menu is caps enter, caps lock enter. Wet and cold has cloaks. Okay, this is the one, cloaks and capes. The furry cloak snow saber, let's add one of those. Okay. That's the one I'm talking about. Then I've got velvet cloaks also. And there's a bunch here that are BDOR. A lot of BDOR stuff. And then this is all the Kirax's stuff. And this is all the pelts. And so the pelts aplenty has a lot. This is all winter is coming. So let's grab one of these too, and I'll show you one of those also. Okay. So now that we have those two cloaks in our inventory, let's make it daytime. And then let's get rid of the hood, get rid of the cloak, and then show me take that off. Okay, this is a snowy saber one. This is one that uh-oh. I gotta beat somebody up, hold on.
Don't you ever get tired of this?
Bandit. Okay, so this is one that was redone by Kirax. Kirax did the SMP on it, and it's actually really good. There's pelts aplenty, yeah. So that's the SMP on that one is really good. Gonna twist that. Oh, you're gonna twist that pretty little head off, huh? Yeah, I don't think so. All right, let me back up a little bit, and then let's move to like walking. So it's got pretty good physics. That's the Kirax one. The other one is Kirax did for Winter is Coming. So that would be like this one. And this one, I don't know, the bottom of it stretches weird, it crumples weird. So that's the problem that you're describing, right? And so that's a problem with the SMP for that specific cloak mod, which I should probably just get rid of, because that crumples and looks horrible, right? And then this is Pelts Aplenty, and Pelts Aplenty, the SMP is really nice. Yeah, they're not. This is one of the longer ones from Pelts Aplenty. There's some shorter ones than this, also in Pelts Aplenty. But I really like Pelts Aplenty. They've got shell texturing and their SMP. Yeah, I'd have to go through the whole XML file. The problem is it's using the same cloak.xml as the other cloaks I'm using. So if I fix that one, it screws the other ones up. Does that make sense? Because they're both using cloak.xml. So it would be better to just remove the SMP physics for, well, we could try that. Let's try it. Different bone structure. They have different bones. All right. So let's go to Winter is Coming. That's the Cloaks Physics patch. So let's just turn that off and just use SMP, or the Winter is Coming Cloaks. And what is that being overwritten by? Artisan Cloaks of Skyrim. So Artisan Cloaks of Skyrim is probably, so it's overriding Cloaks and Capes and Cloaks SMP. So that's the cloak in question. One of them. All right, Queen. So why don't we just let Artisan do it? So if we get rid of the Winter is Coming Cloaks Physics patch and just use Artisan Cloaks of Skyrim, which should have, and that might be the problem, is that they're both doing the same thing. So why don't we do this and just put that one after and let that one overwrite Artisan Cloaks. So open an Explorer. So that's the meshes and the textures, bear claw, wolfskin, and the XML file. So the XML file, so this is the power limits, the linear power limits that we're looking at. They don't appear to be that out of range. So let's try that. Let's try moving Winter is Coming physics patch below that one. And we're going to need to rerun anything? I don't think so. Baked potatoes? Okay, get some baked potatoes. So let's see what that one looks like, see if that straightens it out. Because it might be that it's happening twice. You know, Artisan Cloaks is doing it, and then it's happening again with Winter is Coming, Cloaks Physics patch. But it doesn't do it with HET SMP for Cloaks and Capes. That was also done by Curex, so we'll have to see. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try this, and if moving it down there doesn't work, we're gonna unclick it and just let Artisan take care of it and see if that straightens it out. And if it does, that'll come out in the next update. I haven't uploaded 2.2.2 yet. There isn't very much to it at this point. There's only a few changes, nothing major. So I'm kind of holding off and seeing how much I can fit into it. Any mod that is simple or not too intensive to make the loads better when I look into the distance. Well, what are you currently using? Give me a baseline. I need to know what you're using before I can tell you what's better. What's up, Kiwi? Going to be a huge change? Okay. Well, I look forward to it, Shot. I've got 0.5 installed currently. And I'm looking forward to seeing 0.6. You don't have any load mods? Okay, well then I recommend XLoadGen, TextGen, and Dynalod 3. That's what I recommend. Run XLoadGen first, then run TextGen, and then run Dynalod 3. And you're going to need the Dynalod resources also. That will definitely improve your LODs a lot. Quite a lot. And then you can get into tweaking them if you want to. Uh-oh. It doesn't like that save game? Because, oh, I know why. Because I pulled a mod out. No, I didn't pull a mod out. I changed the load order. That's what I did. That's why it doesn't like it. Like the letter X. XLODGEN. XLoadGen. It may also be like, yeah, Shot's got it. So it says it didn't make any changes to the load order. Community shaders, I mean, it's a post-process shader, so it's going to look good. Let me look at the save game. Nothing missing. VRAMer output. Bounty Giant. Book covers, unofficial Skyrim Special Edition. So it says Bounty Giant. Book covers. That's a weird crash. Why would we get that? It just didn't like loading it. The other two are both included in Dynalod 3. So look up Dynalod 3 on the Nexus. TextGen is part of it. And if you're going to run it, well, here's the next question. Are you using Mod Organizer 2? Yeah, the best guides are probably from Shisen, the guy who made it. Biggie has it more in layman's terms. So if you want more technical, go to Shisen. If you want more layman, go to Biggie. They're both good. They'll both guide you through it. Another good one is from Gamer Poets. Gamer Poets has a layman version also that's a video version, so it's on YouTube. You can look that up. That's another good version of how to run Dynalod. But running it from within MO2 requires setting it up correctly in MO2. Okay, well, if you're using MO2, then the thing is you need to make it run from within MO2. It does not install into your mod list. It is an external program. So it's going to be running kind of the same way that Xlogen runs, right? Xlogen is not actually added to your mod list. The only requirement it has really is the resource pack that's there. Yeah, Gamer Poets is good too. So Gamer Poets, Biggie Boss, or Sheeson's has got a whole. I mean, if you like to read, if you like video, watch Biggie or Gamer Poets. And Sheeson is more technical. Gamer Poets and Biggie are more for the layman or beginner. You know. So it really depends on how much information you want or want to absorb and how you learn. Are you a visual learner or do you learn by reading or whatever? So that there's different options. All of them have good information. I went straight to the source. I read what Sheeson puts down. Okay, it does not like that save game with me moving the location of that mod. So we're going to try removing that mod and see if that'll load. So we're just going to remove that patch. Okay, well, I'll give you an overview. You ready? So in my programs file, I have downloaded Dynalod. Okay, this is Dynalod. It's outside of my game files, completely outside. So, but this is how I created the Dynalod output. All right. So the first thing that you pretty much want to do here is you want to run this from within MO2. This is not in MO2. This is in my F drive. Okay. This is located in my Z drive. But what I did was I created a shortcut that'll take me right to it. Shared free alpha version of Textion is several months old and long outdated. Okay, so it's telling me I need to update TextGen, which is fine. Should we just start over? So what I would say is I would get rid of all of this. Okay, so I've got just a clean Dynalod folder here. And then I'm going to go straight to Browse Mod Page. Let's go to the Nexus. Okay, well, none of that is not safe for work, so we'll just throw that right there. And we're going to look up Dynalod. And we're going to get resources, SSE3. And I'm going to see if I actually have that specific file. I don't. This is a new one. So I need to Mod Manager download that. Okay. Because I'm going to need that one. I need to update my resources. And then I'm going to go back And I'm going to grab Dynaload 3 Alpha, Files, and this is Alpha 185. It's a manual download. I'm going to manually download it. So DLLNG, resources, and additional requirements. So let's make sure we have DLLNG. So let's look up Dynalod. And I have the DLLNG. The Dynalod resources here. I'm actually going to overwrite. And when I'm going through this, I'm going to choose basically all of these. This is Whiterun, Exterior, Solitude, Occlusion, High Hrothgar, Window Glow. I don't want the Vardenfell 3D plume because I have a different plume that I'm doing. Performance option, you can put in low res textures. I don't want the low res textures. I do want to desync the Birds of Prey. I do not want the Holy Cow. The Holy Cow puts a big golden cow in the middle of Whiterun Valley. Okay. So I don't want that. So we're going to install that. I'm going to replace the existing one. Done deal. So now I can go into hidden files. I can find the old resources and I can delete it. Now I have the new one. Okay. So let's look at the other requirements. 7-zip, C++ redistributable, which I have. Dynalon, DLL, NG, and scripts, yes. .NET Framework 4.6, I already have. Runtime 6, I've got. So here I need SKSE. That's for Endril. And for Skyrim SE. So I've got both of those. I've got the things that I need. Okay? But it's always good to check and make sure that you have the things that you need. So we did download that. At least I'm pretty sure we did. Is it in my downloads folder? No, it is not. So we actually need to manually download that. Say download. And we want to save that file. It's working on it. Okay, I'm actually going to grab that and put it on my desktop. And then I'm going to unpack it. And I'm going to extract it to, we are in F Dynalod. Okay, and we're going to say OK. And that's going to put, so I've got Dynalod inside of Dynalod, but that's okay. Why don't we do this and do that, and then we just have Dynalod in here. So this is what you're going to get when you get Dynalod, okay? The way you're going to set it up over here is you're going to set it up, TextGen looks like this. And so it's -D colon quotation where the game is, right? The Nico Experience MO2 stock game data, end quote, space -SSE. Okay? Yes. Make a fold, put it in a different, so this is in F drive, this is in Z drive. But here, I'm going to give you this. Mine's in Z drive, but it'll be wherever your your game is located. So this is the game that I'm playing, the one I want to work on, is located in Z, the Nico Experience, MO2, stock game data, and then there's a space, there's end quote space hyphen SSE. The space is important, don't forget it. Okay? Otherwise it'll ask you what game you want it for, because Dynalog works on a variety of different games. Okay, and then here I've got the binary leading to F drive, which is right here, right? Dynalog TextGen 64EXE. So it's leading right there. That's my TextGen. Now Dynalog, I'm going to set this up same deal. So it's still leading to the same place, right? In my Z drive. So -D colon quotation Z, the Nico Experience MO2 stock game data, end quote, space hyphen SSE. That's the argument. That's where you want it to basically be working. Okay. And then I'm looking, the binary is located in F, Dynalog X64EXE, which is this right here. Okay. So this is in my F drive. This is all my Z in my Z drive. So we're going to say, okay, both of those are good. They're leading to the right place. We're actually going to change to TextGen. And then what I'm going to do here in Edit Scripts, I know what I want my, if I come down here to Dynalog SSE INI and I open it up, and this is in the Edit Scripts, right? I'm going to use expert mode. So I'm going to say 1. Okay, and then on the vertex color multipliers, I know that my crown brightness is too dark to match what's out there. So I've already figured this out that I want to go 0.83 on my crown brightness, and my trunks are too light, so I went 1.22 on my trunk brightness. Now, I don't know what loads you're going to be using because I'm using the 3D LODs, right? That come with the tree mods that I'm using. The other thing is you can mess with grass. Now grass should be down. Where is grass? This is grass. Grass LOD brightness multipliers. So you can change the multipliers for grass if your grass is in your LODs look too bright or too dark. And same thing for complex. Okay. The values that are here are generally pretty darn good depending on what EMB you're running. So your EMB may be making things too bright or too dark. This is where you can modify your grass and complex grass to match better with what your EMB is doing. Okay? I know I'm getting too technical now. Okay. But anyhow, the main thing you want to do here is expert 1. Run it in expert mode. Okay, and that's in your Dynalog _ SSE.ini because we're in Skyrim Special Edition. So if you're running a different game like Enderal or whatever, you can do it here. All right, so now that we have that set up and we have the correct resources here, we can run TextGen. So let's run TextGen. And this is going to produce all of the billboards that we're going to need. And it's going through, basically, this is the same code that Xedit uses. So this says Xedit background loader. That's because this is the same code. TextGen and Dynalog are using the same code that Xedit uses. It can go through, it was written by Elmister U. So it says found stitch object load textures from earlier TextGen generation installed in game folder. Okay, so we already know that because we have TextGen turned on. I'll tell you what, let's exit TextGen and let's turn this off. How would you make this show up? Create a shortcut for it. So if you left click on it and then go to edit and then go add an executable, this little plus sign here. So you go plus sign, add from file, and then go to your F drive, right? That's where I put it. Dynalod, TextGen. Ta-da! And then that thing that I just posted, the -d colon quotation and then the location of my actual installation and then end quote space -sse you're going to put in the arguments. So, boop, that. Well, the first one you want to use is TextGen because you're going to create one for TextGen and you're going to create another one for Dynalod. You notice I've got TextGen right here and I've got Dynalod right here. Those are two separate programs. They come together, but they're two separate things you're going to do. You need to create the billboards before Dynalod can use them. Does that make sense? So we're going to just say cancel this because we don't want to do that. We already have one, but I was just showing you how to do it. Okay. So we already have a TextGen output, an XLoGen output, a TextGen output, and a Dynalod output. We already have all three of those. No, it's okay. You're going to do the same thing with XLoGen. So where's my XLoGen? I don't actually have it set up here. So I guess I can, well, let's edit. Add from executable, add from file. Let's go back to my program files and let's find, where is XLoGen? XLoGen. And I'm going to choose XLoGen 64 exe, right? And then my argument is going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm going to run it from D, and then the location of where my executable is that I want to work with. So my game is in Z, the Nico Experience MO2, stock game, data, and that's where my executable is. And then space -sse. If I don't have this part at the end, it's going to ask me what game I want to do it for. So you don't really need that. Okay, because you can say, oh, well, I want to do it for this game, right? But if you do that, you don't have to deal with that. So I'm going to say apply. Okay, and now we have another one here that's XLoGen, right? So if I choose that and then I go to shortcut and I go toolbar and menu, now it's right here. XLoGen is like the first version of Dynalod. You don't need it, but this is kind of important. Your Dynalod output is going to look better if you run LoGen output first. Okay, so if we look inside the LoGen output that I created, it's got meshes and textures. And I created this back on 6.14, so quite a while ago. But it's got the terrain, and it's got the terrain for every world space. So if I look at Tamriel, now it's a BTR file, but there are also other, doesn't have to be a BTR, there's other ones too. Basically, it's a mesh. But this is a mesh for the terrain. So I've got spring, summer, winter, autumn. Okay. So let's look at what winter looks like in this grid. This is my terrain map. So if I look at it, it's actually a map of the terrain with the water. This is water. Okay. So I'm guessing this is the little lake But basically, this it'll map out, and then this is your under. Okay, so it's making it so that you've got occlusion. It's not gonna do anything underneath. Obsidian Weather is great. It's the same one I use. But so it's creating this for you. It actually mapped the land. So it's going to use this when it generates LOD. So this is just the terrain. So there's no rocks, no trees, no nothing, right? Just the terrain. But having the terrain along with the rocks and the trees and everything else that Dynalot will do makes it look much better. It does require more space. So if I look at my XLoadGen output, this folder is 7.86 gigabytes. And this folder, which is the textures for it, is 18.8 gigabytes. So you could save a lot by not generating XLoadGen, but it's not going to look as good. Break out the scales, right? What do I want? Do I want it to look really good, but it's going to take more space and take more power? Or do I want it to, take less power, but it's not going to look as good? That's the scales. XLoadGen is the terrain, opposed to object, trees, rocks, and buildings. You got it. That's perfect. You got it. So I run XLoadGen first for the terrain, and then when I run Dynalot, let's look at the output in Dynalot. So you've got a few things here. I got meshes, seasons, because I ran seasons, textures, and then I've got a swap file. So the swap INI is going to be for seasons. But it's mentioning all of this stuff. Animated ice flows, mainly animated ice flows. Looks like nocturnal moths. Yeah, that's all for animated ice flows and nocturnal moths. Well, once you start opening it up and take a look at it, it's not really that. So we also have terrain here. So let's go back to Tamriel and let's go. So here we have objects and trees. We don't have landscape, right? So let's look at objects. So this is a BTO file, but BTO file you can open those up in NifScope too. All right, so these are just different kinds of, and I've got spring, summer, winter, autumn. So now we're looking at objects for, this is in terrain, Tamriel objects for, let's do winter again. And I want to open that up in NifScope. That's a lot of information. It's taken a while to open. Okay. So this is all of the objects. Now, when we look at this, it doesn't have textures on it. But when you look at these X marks here, those are all trees. So it's a double billboard, right? It's two images. So that when you look at it, it looks like a tree in the distance. And same thing with all the rocks in the ground. This is a 3D model of a tree. So that's a 3D LOD. Okay, so you know where this is, right? Does this look familiar to you? It should. That's the underside, and that's the upside. This should look familiar. You see this right here? And you see this door right here? And then the stairwell leading up the hill? Do you know where that is? Think about the lunar axe. Where do you get the lunar axe? Yeah, I got spectacles on today because I need them now. I have my cataract surgery done on my right eye. So anything that's close, I need my cheaters. These are just cheaters, cheapo cheaters from, like CVS Pharmacy or whatever. But I can read. I don't have to. You notice I'm not leaning forward to read everything. Name escapes me, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a bandit camp that's in the Whiterun Valley where the lunar axe is and the lunar sword and the lunar forge. But yeah, this is the LOD for it. So now you know where we're at. And then up this way is the other bandit camp that's at the end of this waterway here. There's another bandit camp up there. Yeah, the Lunar Forge is there. That's this place. It's right here, right? Oh, that thing just likes to move quickly. It's right up at the top of this stairwell. Yeah, well, this is the 3D. This is the LOD for it. So, but again, this is without textures. You don't need that for a while? Well, I'm creeping up on 60 years old. I can tell you this, cataract surgery does not hurt. It's not painful at all. It's quick, 15, 20 minutes. They're done. And you can see 1,000% better the next day. Now you got to put drops in your eyes for like a month, like 4 times a day. But that's a minor annoyance. And what I did is what's called a monofocal lens. There's 4 different kinds of lenses they can put in your eye. But the monofocal lens means that it's one set range of focus. So anything from probably, I mean, if I'm looking at my screen right now, it's a little blurry, but anything from about, 5 feet away to infinity is perfectly in focus. It's only when I'm close, like computer screen, I need my cheaters. Yeah. So I had surgery yesterday on my eye. But anyhow, yeah, that's what it's producing, and it'll produce that for every grid. And then if you're doing seasons, it'll produce it for every season. So I've got spring, summer, winter, autumn. It's producing all of those. This one's autumn. And those are all trees. The pink things you see are trees. The mountainside actually has a texture on it because that's a vanilla texture. No, these glasses aren't prescription. They're cheaters. These are 1.5 times cheaters from my local pharmacy. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Be good. Thanks for the thumbs up. Always appreciated. So it will take some time to run all of this. I don't really recommend running seasons. I mean, unless you really want it. But you can play all the way through the main quest before a season will change. So is it really needed? No, not really. Not unless you're doing a super duper long playthrough, or you're going to manually change the seasons. But yeah, run xlogen, then run textgen. So if we run textgen, let's just run xlogen's going to take a while, so we're not going to do that. But let's just run textgen. I'll show you what that's at. -7 in one eye, -8 in the other. You're blind? Okay. Well, I'm really surprised how bad my eyes were, the cataracts, because the first thing that I noticed was how vibrant everything was after getting the lens replaced. And that was my worst eye. So now this eye looks really bad compared to this one, and this was my better eye. Okay, so it's finding this. So we're going to say ignore, and we're just going to let it run. So it's going to go through all of these files. You're not kidding, Deco. Error expected, but found value. Okay. So I would have to probably in 1.5, I would probably have to unclick this to run it. I was actually scrubbing the floor earlier today. Because I saw all the doggy footprints that normally I wouldn't see. So I wonder if I can just run it like that. Let's see. It might still kick me back in error. I don't recommend using any pre-made LODs. And neither does Shisen. You know why? Because those LODs were made with somebody else's mod list or with vanilla. So anything you have that's different than what they have won't display correctly. So I don't recommend using anybody else's pre-made LODs unless you're running 100% vanilla game. Yeah, it's still kicking me that error. Let's find out. It says incorrupt or invalid or corrupt assets. Corrupt plugins, Dynalog log for unsolved form ID, ignoring cell error messages in particular. So it's saying I've got invalid or corrupt assets. Always come to this and read whatever it says and deal with it. So latest version of Dynalog TextGen as explained above. Well, we are. Dynalog log. Well, let's find our Dynalog log. So yeah, you'd have to go through all of this. It's probably down at the bottom. So that's not really giving me any information. All I wanted to do was play today, and I just got myself frickin' sidetracked, didn't I? Didn't I? Yes, I did. Yep, squirrel. I was trying to help. I use volumetric mists also, but it doesn't really do a great job of hiding distant terrain. I would recommend running Xlogen for the terrain at the very least. I can fold them if you don't want to.
I don't want to hear it if they don't look right.
I would have to say the same thing to you. I am very appreciative for everything that you do, baby. You're wonderful.
I'd be like,
Oh my gosh.
that's how I fold mine.
Well, you're doing a great job.
I'll get a cardboard thing and
That'll work. That's perfect. Love it. Awesome.
I don't know about those.
Well, they're pretty wide though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, I'm laying them out.
Just lay them out. I'll take care of it, okay? Thank you. I'll take care of it.
Hey, I don't leave
You know what? I really appreciate that you're trying. That's freaking awesome. But
They're not wrinkled. I pull them out of the dryer.
okay. You know what? Just lay them out like you've been doing normally. I will take care of it.
I'll fold
You
your
are
underwear.
well. That's awesome too. Thank you.
That's easy.
Yeah. I don't care if you just crumple those up and throw them in there. You
I'm
know.
gonna do that.
We want that one and that one. Okay. So I want to come over here. Actually, I want to grab everything. I want to grab from here down to here. I want to apply a script, and I'm looking for that's for deleted nav meshes. No, 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 no. Conflict, external applications, export dialog. Okay. The problem is I don't remember what the first part of it is, so I need to look. I don't want to list it. I want to fix them. Identical to previous over. I want identical to master. I could say invalid entries. That one. Undelete and disable references. So let's see what it finds. Must have been a mod I added recently. Okay, so there's one reference here, Mountain Cliff 01 Heavy SN, and Group Cell Temporary Children, Temporal World Space. So that's one deleted reference that we needed to undelete and remove. So I wonder where that came from. It says 77 deleted nav meshes, but I'm pretty sure that most of those are from the are ones I can't fix. They're either from Skyrim, Update, Dawnguard, Hearthfire, Dragonborn. So the other thing that I want to check here, I probably won't let me do this here because it's going to tell me to use, yeah, quick auto clean. But quick auto clean will only let me do that it's Dawnguard, it's always Dawnguard. Yeah, maybe. There are some that you are deleted nav meshes that you're not supposed to fix because they're part of the DLC content that were done by Bethesda. I did fix one that I found in it was actually changing the boat in Hohenwald. Because I've got a boat replacer. Somebody made a boat replacer for it and had to change the nav mesh, but they didn't, they deleted the nav meshes, which is not the way you get rid of the old ones, right? So I had to undelete the nav meshes and then compress them together and hide them under the ground so that they're not deleted, but they're not there for NPCs to walk on. So I did have to fix that. I think that was the only one I really wanted to do there. And let's see what it tells me. That's from the cause patch. Ismail Lotor collection. So let me open this up on Nexus. This mod has a deleted item reference. That was one that I added. Just removes a piece of mountain. Yeah. Well, when you remove it, you need to clean the plugin. So now they know. I'll let them fix it. But it's, I mean, I don't do that to be a jerk. I do that to help them, you know. Um, it's a good patch. It fixes a problem where this piece of land is covering up part of the camp that was put here by Creation Club stuff, right? But they just removed it without getting rid of the deleted item reference. So if they could run it through Quick Auto Clean, then it wouldn't be a problem, and would be. So this has been there for a while. January 2022. All right. Well, hopefully they check it out and they take a look at it and they can fix it. But we fixed it in our game, so I don't. I mean, I could just do it for my game and say, oh, let other people deal with it on their own, but that's not cool. I would rather try to let people know the errors that I found so that they can fix them for everybody else. That's not Explorer. I want to open it like that. That's what I want to do. So I've got the .NET framework. That's okay. That's a crash log. What's showing up in the crash log, by the way? Okay, that's the bounty giant thing. So we don't need that. Delete. Yes. And then we've got cache and we've got backup. So let's go game files, output. No, it's here. Backups. So that'll make a backup of that plugin. And we've updated our cache also for SSE edit, which means it'll load faster next time. All right, run it. Let's see if it'll load that save game. If not, then that save game's corrupt, and we'll have to go back to a save game from before. Doing loop-de-loos. Isn't it amazing? Oh, you know what I want to do? Can I start it up before this starts? Maybe. Hey, cool, we got it. Cool, we're good. Well, I mean, anybody can create a mod and upload it to Nexus. And they'll check it to make sure that it's not malicious, right? It's not some kind of malware or virus or whatever else like that. But they're not really going to check what the plugin does. It's up to the community to check it, and hopefully, if there's a problem, either provide a solution, like I did. You might want to run it through Quick Auto Clean, or submit a bug report, so that people can make the stuff that's available to the community a higher quality. Or at least so it doesn't have deleted item references. And as Sheeson says, there's no such thing as an intentional deleted item reference. I kind of buy into that and kind of don't. Inigo has a deleted item reference. But if you undelete it and remove it, it breaks Inigo. So I'm not sure exactly why they did it that way, but that's one you don't want to undelete and remove. Okay, let's see if it'll load or crash. What's your guess? Okay, so we got rid of Winter is Coming, Cloak's SMP, so I'm guessing it'll probably load. Keep your fingers crossed. And then we'll see what the SMP looks like just using Artisan Cloaks because this was Patriot that was having a problem with this, so hopefully you're still here, Patriot. We'll take a look at that. Hello. It's going to crash. Yeah, load and then crash. So that's some bullshit, Carlo. Alright, so it does not like that save. So let's try a save from before then. Well, yeah, it just doesn't like that save. And we did remove a mod, but that's neither here nor there, so I don't know. I mean, were we wearing that save might be wearing that cloak. And then if it's not, that might be the problem. No, I was looking at a cloak from Winter's Coming, and I was checking out artisan cloaks and the SMP patch from Kirax. So there was two things that were affecting the SMP on that cloak, and the cloak itself was the SMP was terrible. It was folding over itself, getting all tangled up in your feet and everything else. It looked terrible. So I was trying to change load order, but I think my character is wearing that cloak. So when it's trying to load that game where I'm wearing that cloak, it doesn't like it because now the SMP is different. Now, it may also be that I have to rerun Nemesis because I've removed that plugin and it's looking for something it can't find. So I broke it by moving things around and looking at it. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fix the SMP on that cloak. Wear a scarf? Okay. So let's try to load Raven Bowie. I didn't know I still had Raven Bowie. Alright, well let's go back to this one and see if that'll load. It's also going to tell me it's missing that SMP, which is fine because we're not actually wearing that cape. Yeah, Pelts of Plenty has a lot of really neat options for things to keep you warm. So we're loading animations, and that's where it's going to crash. Still looking for a hood cloak. I mix things together. Okay, so that to me means it's a Nemesis issue. What I do is I use the hoods from Divine Elegance and wear a cloak with them. So it's two separate pieces. And what's nice about that is the ones from Divine Elegance that I really like, that are really high poly and they look good, they have basically a scarf model and a hood model. And they look the same, only one is the hood down and the other is the hood up. So instead of using a mod that, puts the hood up during certain conditions, I can hotkey it and change in between. So I hotkey my hood, and I'll hotkey two different cloaks, one for warm weather and one for cold weather. But my current character is wearing a scarf that has a matching hood, and then I can switch between the two. So I've got a hood down and a hood up model. But I do it via hotkey instead of like read the room or whatever. There's a lot you can do with the Sky UI favorites menu. So I don't know if you know this, but you can favorite your weapons or weapon sets. So let's say you've got a shield and a sword, okay, and then you can favorite with that a set of armor that you want to wear with that particular deal, and you can favorite a shout. And so with one click of a button, you can equip armor, weapon, shield, shout for a particular situation. And then you can set up 8 different ones. Now, the only issue with that is you're going to be carrying 8 suits of armor, and you'll switch in between them by hotkey. But that leaves a lot of options open for what you can do. So we're going to see if this save game will load. We're going to go back to the latest save. This is after rerunning Nemesis. Maybe I just broke my damn game. We'll see. You can't play with that mod? Okay. Alright, we're going to see if this will load with rerunning Nemesis. Crap. I broke it pretty damn good, didn't I? Alright, well, the only thing I can say is to put it back the way it was. That's back the way that it was. Let's make sure that this is the way that it should be. If it works, does it need an update? So yeah, I changed the load order by doing that, and I think that's what's messing. I would have to probably start a new save, start a new playthrough to remove that. We'll find out. That's kind of the thing, though. I mean, we're dealing with a game that came out, what, 14 years ago? Almost? 11, 11, 11. So if it came out in 11 and it's 2025, but February, so 13 plus years ago, you're dealing with a game that's over 13 years old. Not everybody's still going to be playing Skyrim, and people have made mods for it. Some of them have moved on. They're doing something else, you know? So you can't expect them to hang out to keep updating something that they produced that was working fine when they made it, you know, if they're not playing the game anymore. Then it's up to us that are still playing the game to find something that works. Or in the case of like Pandora, create something new. But Pandora to me is still kind of in its infancy. I'm going to let it be out there and get updated a few times before I think about switching over. Well, the modding community is still making mods. They're still innovating. They're still creating new things for this game. It's a very unique game. There's very few games out there that are as easily moddable, that are open world, not story based, you know? So, all right, let's see if it'll load. Hold on to your butts. We're going to watch the VRAM fill up. Yeah, I totally killed my game. How did I totally kill my game? That, I don't think even gave me a crash log, did it? Yeah, it did. Well, let's look at these in order. That's book covers, Bounty Giant, book covers, book covers, Bounty Giant, book covers. So it's the same thing. This is different. Kitty Spell Pack. Hazard object. Bounty Giant. So I've got a problem with this. This has happened 3 times. Oh. You know what? I know what. This is 2064. We changed the resources for Dindalod and updated it. No, The fact that it's not referencing the equipment I'm wearing tells me that's not it. But this is why we make backups. This one's from 2.9. So it's only from like 4 days ago. So I'm going to fix it. I might have to add a few mods, but I don't think there's very much that I changed. What else did I change? I got a landscape edit 9/28. It was on the 10th, so this was on the 9th. This was on the 9th. This was on the 7th. So all of these should be included. That should have been removed in Boulder in Skyrim, so we'll see. Break it real good. Now we're fixing it right now. This is why I make backups. This is why I love Wabbajack. We're reinstalling the mod list. $98,497 mods. So we're going to have to clean that though. Yeah, well, installation complete. So now I want to see if I've got that specific file. I don't think is going to be part of this, but let's see if we have Boulder. No. Where did I have that? Okay, so now we're looking for Lux SLAWF patch. So we don't have that, so that got removed. So the only other thing we need is landscape edit. And that goes back into Nico. Where's Nico specific? There we go. Now we want to check our save game. No missing ESPs. So that should be good. The only other thing we want to do, well, we want to loot this. And then I want to run a quick auto clean on that patch. Make a video on how to back up your mods. Make a Wabbajack. So here we're looking for um, this one. So we're going to quick auto clean that one. Avowed. Roger's been working on Ultima for a while. I mean, I'd like to see it get released. Definitely good at making videos, hyping it up. I still like my own list better. That's me. Okay, so that was the Mountain Cliff Heavy. Okay. Installed pelts aplenty and one mod backport SLAs for when I was in the game it made, so I couldn't run or even dropping items below my stamina weight. I could only still walk. The Ultima project is banned. Roger's been putting out videos. The first time it got banned because it had a lot of inlined files that you're not supposed to inline. So But I'm sure if they straightened that out, they could probably get it on. Oh, people know why. People know exactly why it got banned. He was inlining paid mods and basically redistributing them for free. That's illegal. You can't do that. I shouldn't say you can't. I should say that that'll get you banned. You need to pay to download Ultima. That's why they got banned. Backported extended ESL support, because you're running an older version of Skyrim, you're going to need that because any of the new versions of mods that were created with Anniversary Edition are not going to work on your version unless you have the extended ESL support. I need that mod in my load order because I'm using some mods that were created with Anniversary Edition, but I'm running 1.5.97. Okay. I, it, I'll tell you what, that just, as far as Ultima goes, sounds like a lot of drama. You know what I do with drama? I turn around and I walk the other way. So I don't care. I really don't care. I like my mod list. It's available. Everything is available for free. You don't need to pay nobody. A matter of fact, I won't even take donations. There's no way to donate to me anywhere. And that's the way it should be. Mods should be free. Now, a lot of people don't agree with that. Whatever. I let them do them, and I'll do me. Well, what are you using for load order? Are you leaving them all at the bottom when you install them, or are you running something like loot? Or are you manually doing your load order? Basically, bees should be at the top, right? It's a utility. I think mods are gifts. But I also think that modders should mod what they want and not what everybody is asking them to do. Unless, of course, they want to do what everybody's asking them to do. But then you run into rule number 5, which is it's humanly impossible to please everybody. So that's a problem. When I first started making mods for Oblivion, people would ask me to create things for them. Hey, this is a really cool sword. You think you could make it? And I, being a nice guy that I was, I said, sure, so I would put hours and hours and hours into creating the mesh and the texture and getting it into game and finding a good spot for it and creating the plug-in. And then I would present it to the people who asked me to make it. And it was always the same thing. I'll tell you how it went. It went like this. Well, it looks great, but could you make it a little bit longer? That looks awesome, but the textures could be a little bit higher resolution. I love what you did with it. It looks great, but could you put it in a different location? Okay, I got tired of that really quick. Here I spent 60 hours building something for you out of the kindness of my heart. 60 hours of my life. Something that I'm probably not even going to use in my own game. And now you're going to nitpick it? And you're going to complain about it? Make it your damn self. That's where I came to on doing things for other people, because I tried really hard to make people happy, and no matter what I did, I couldn't make them happy. And the ones that were happy, you know what they did? It went like this. Hey, I finished that sword you wanted me to make for you. Here you go. They would download it, and I would never hear from them again. No thank you. No, this is awesome. No, let me make a video and post it so other people know that, you're cool and, you did this for me. None of that. None of that. They took what they wanted and they split. And they never came back. Never saw them again. So yeah, I got tired of it. I got so tired of it that I deleted all of my Oblivion mods. I'm like, screw you guys. You know, you don't deserve it. Now, later I thought about that and I said, okay, well, that's not fair to the people who actually are thankful for these gifts that I gave them. But at that point, I made myself a rule. And the rule goes like this: I'm going to make what I want, when I want, how I want. Wow. That's on a freshly. That's really weird. Why did it do that? Bounty Giant. Book cover Skyrim. So it's the same freaking crash. Why? And it's an SKSE thing. Yeah, it's an SKSE thing. It's SKSE's having a problem. So I'm guessing it's the save. So what I ended up doing, let me deal with all of this. Was I basically put my mods back up there. And I made the rule that I was only going to work on what I wanted to work on when I wanted to work on it. I was only going to make things that I personally wanted, the way that I wanted them. And I was only going to release them if I felt like releasing them. And then if people wanted to complain about it or whatever else, I'm like, have fun modding. Change it. I'm not going to change it. That's the way I want it. That's the way I'm going to release it. So if you're not happy with it, you get to learn how to change it. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, I could never learn how to mod. I don't know how to mod." And it's like, well, whose problem is that? That's not my problem, you know? And that's how I got kind of, a little hardened towards people. and the entitlement attitude. You're not entitled to anything in life. You want it that bad? I'll show you tutorials, or I'll make a tutorial. I'll show you how to do it, right? But don't expect me to do it for you because you're too lazy to learn how to do it yourself. That's not how it works. So that is a log. This is a backup. This is a shader cache that's empty. And these are logs. So all of this can be a mod. Well, I'll tell you what. The way I help now is I'll do a tutorial or something online here so people can see it. That's a good way to help them, show them how to do it. But after that, you're on your own. You know, you need to take the initiative to watch and learn and do it yourself. Okay? But the other way I can do it is I can point you in the right direction. I can say, hey, why don't you go check out Gamer Poets? Why don't you go check out Biggie Boss? Why don't you read what Sheeson has put down for Dindalot? Okay, so I can point you in the right direction, but it's still up to you to follow that path. It's not up to me to drag you kicking and screaming. Okay? And that change in my attitude towards how I was going to help people is why I'm still here 21 years later. Okay? Otherwise, I'd be like a lot of these other modders that just get fed up and walk away and never look back. But I'm still here 21 years later, but I had to make that rule for my own sanity. So the only thing I can think of that ain't it. Well, it ain't that. And we should have the older version. Well, we just, I don't know. For a long time, I didn't get off of Legendary Edition. When SSE came out, I was like, I'm not buying the game again. I'm happy with my Legendary Edition. But then I started to learn a little bit more about what they did with Legendary Edition, changing it from 32-bit to 64-bit, getting rid of the 4 gigabyte RAM, you know, uh, headroom, light plugins, allowing us to have more than 255 plugins in a mod list. And I'm like, okay, well, those are things worthy to change to upgrade to a later version to SSE. Okay, cool. But then they came out with these other versions of SSE that were basically just selling more product, right? So Anniversary Edition, they gave us 4 free Creation Club stuff. Okay, cool. But they also said, well, if you buy Anniversary Edition, then you get all of this free Creation Club stuff, along with the 4 we're giving to the people who already own the game. But that changed the game version, which means it broke SSE Edit and every mod that relies on it. So that was kind of a bummer. Okay, so what am I going to do about this save game? That is a darn good question. That is a darn good question. Okay, so that might be part of the problem. So I'm looking for game files output, and I want to drag this and drop that right in there. Oh, you're killing me. It says I can drag and drop it. Scripts, launcher, start. How come it's not letting me drag it in there? Scripts. It's not letting me drag it in there. All right, we'll do it one at a time. Because you're being a pain in my butt. Well, yeah, they do try to force people to buy the updates, but I mean, well, then there's some people that aren't really going to support older versions anymore. You know, some modders. Very few and far between. There's only one that really comes to mind, and I think you know who I'm talking about. But then you're forcing people to buy an updated version of the game. Well, yeah, come on, game. I just want to play. Well, I was missing some Nemesis files that I needed. So rerunning Nemesis. Hopefully this should start up now. But while this is trying to start up, I'm going to go use the restroom. I got coffee. All's right in the world. Let's look up this form ID of this bounty for the giant that's causing a crash. Because that's a new one. That's a different one. I mean, most all the crashes have said the same thing, the same reference, so I need to know where that's from, what it is, and maybe it's some corrupt data, which is quite possible. But like I said, I have coffee, so it's all good. Oh, warm coffee too. I don't know why it would be doing that. The only thing I can think of is that it's not overwriting it because it's already there. You know what I mean? And it's some corrupt data. That maybe needs to be reinstalled. So we're going to load it up in SSE edit, check that form ID, see where it's from. I'm guessing it says it's from book covers, so, which is interesting that that would be a problem. And we're waiting, and we're waiting. This is the first time I'm building the reference cache since reinstalling the mod list, so this is going to take a minute. It'll go much faster next time. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Still building references? Oh my gosh. If it takes too long, I got to put more drops in my eyes. Oh, cool. It's this bounty letter. So it's book covers, clutter books. So book covers is the one that's overwriting everything. Font, face, handwritten font. That's not a problem with anything. So the only thing I can think of is that it's a corrupt file. Why would that be a problem? All right. We're going to reinstall book covers, and we're going to give it a try. Oh, I'm going to have to help my daughter. She's coming over today. I've got a part I need to help her install on her car. And she is on her way. So she's going to be here in about 15 minutes. So let me see if I can install this, get the game to start. If I can get the game to start, that's what we're going to call it for today. So let's reinstall book covers. Installation file no longer exists. Oh, that could be a problem, don't you think? That is a very big problem. So let's visit it on the Nexus. Bless you, baby. Desaturated, original. So which one do we want? So that was the 24th, January 24. Let's grab the desaturated ones. File with the same name. It's already been downloaded. No. So let's go to downloads. Well, all of these we need to hide, or those are hidden. What the heck? Oh, that's why. So we're looking for book covers. I would like to replace it, but it was saying that the installation file no longer existed. So that's strange. And then we've got a Winter Sun. Book covers in Skyrim patch. Replace. And then we've got a book covers Skyrim add-on, Berserker. Okie dokie, hokey pokey. Turn yourselves around. You know, that's what it's all about. So it was kind of interesting that it told me that the installation file didn't exist anymore for that. That's the SSE edit cache. We want to do that. All of that looks okay. What do we tell people? Come on, you know it. What do we tell people?
Hold on to your butts.
That's right, and hold on to them tight. So we're going to give this a try. This is our last attempt here. Hopefully this should start up and be okay. And if it is, or even if it isn't, Um, we're going to log off after this. So I'm going to tell you now, thanks everybody for showing up. Oh, hi.
Bye.
Bye. Sharon's on her way.
Okay, I'm leaving.
So yeah, I got to help her out with her car thingy. Yay, in the rain, working on the car. It's going to be fun. And then blame the cat. I don't have a cat. I have a dog. And if I had a cat, the dog would be chasing the cat. She doesn't like cats. She doesn't like squirrels. She doesn't like delivery trucks. She doesn't like the mailman. She doesn't like kids on bicycles. She doesn't like joggers. She'll chase all of that. Anything moving fast is prey. So if you're on a scooter or a skateboard, yeah, you're fair game. You're prey. You know, I never noticed this. She looks like she's got buck teeth. My granddaughter was telling me, but she's got two cats. She was telling me about her cats and pushing things closer and closer to the edge of the table. Who'll be working in the rain? I'm thinking only you. Nah, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the garage door and I'll have her back in so that we're under the overhang in front of the house, in front of the garage door. That way we're not actually in the rain. It's on the hatchback, so that would be a good place to work on it. All right. Here we go. It's either going to play or it's not going to play, and either way, we're done for the day. There's your little poem for the day. So we hope that it logs into game. We're hopeful. But we'll see. We'll wait until we see the animation bar in the top right. There it is. Now will it load or will it crash? Oh my god, it's going to crash. I really have no idea at this point. Same thing, book covers. Bounty Giant. And it's the SKSE kernel base. So the only other thing I can think of No, I have not tried a new game. I have tried a different save. We can try another different save and see if it'll go. The only other thing I can think of is the resource, download resource file. Got updated. What's up, baby? Hi. You gonna come up and say hi? Angel had to say hi to you before she left, so. You're such a good doggy. You're such a good doggy. Good girl. Okay, down. Oh my gosh. Oh my dog. Oh my dog. Okay, you gotta move, dog. Good girl. Covered in puppy tinsel. Allow a new game, but none of my saves. Not a great feeling. Well, if I gotta start it. I've been playing this character for almost 2 months. So if I have to start a new game, it's not the end of the world. I mean, she's getting pretty high level. She's almost level 40. Things are getting pretty easy at this point. But I would rather just have a really nice long play. I think what I got to do is stop messing around with the files during a playthrough. That's my big problem right there. Is I'm messing with files during a playthrough. Okay, we're gonna try. Should we go back to the Stumbling Saber Cat? Let's go back to this is an interior save. So let's see if it'll load that. No. All right. Well, that's my daughter, so well, yeah, I broke it good, and my daughter just showed up. So that's it for today. Thanks for showing up, and until next time.